Okay, hi there guys. Welcome again to the second tutorial about developing our library management system. The previous tutorial we spoke a little bit about specifying the specification for our system. Also, we spoke about the scenario of how the system should work. And today we are going also to just talk a little bit and write a little bit of development steps in order to be ready to actually develop the system. Okay, so before I start, I'll need to just review quickly what I did here. So basically you want to store book information, location of the book, the details, a queue for booking a title, few fines, working employees, etc., etc. And also we need to store some specific kind of information for each book title. We need to store student information here. Okay, we need to store the location within library. Okay, and finally the staff information and the account information. Okay, so the next step is talking about the database design. Now, for the database design, sometimes I try to create objects and map these objects to the database itself. So let me go back here just a second. Now this is how we are gonna work on that. So first we're gonna need to create some kind of a table to store the book information. Okay, so here I'm gonna copy that, just repeating a little bit of code here, Control V. So for this one, this is gonna be like the books table, let's say. Okay, and the barcode for the book could be treated as the primary key in this case. Okay, so this is gonna be what? This is gonna be primary key. Okay, let me mark this with a little bit different color. Yeah, well, maybe I shouldn't do that here. Okay, let me say this is primary key. Enter. Let me check these, click this one, and okay, so this is going to be the primary key. The book title is going to be what? This is going to be text. The author, this is going to be text as well. Publication year, this could be a number. Okay, you could enter text as well, no problem with that, but in that case, if you are searching for a specific year, you need to enter the the whole 4-digit. The press, this is going to be text as well. The subject, this is going to be text. Keyword, text. The borrow history. Now this one is a little bit different because more than one student is going to borrow the book from you, and because of that this books table will have a separate entry. So what we need to do is create another details table here. This is gonna be what? Books borrow history table. Okay, and what this should include, it should have what? This should be student ID. Let's say this should have a link between student ID and what? And the book barcode. Okay, or let's say the book ID. No problem with that. So we need to have these two things. It might be wiser if I add a field here to be MN book ID and make that the primary key. Reason is, wait a minute, this is gonna be primary key. The reason is let's say you have your own barcode printer and you want to give a different barcode for each book for some reason. Now if you change the barcode for one of the books, it means you have to change the primary key through all the tables. But if you use the book ID, then you don't have to change that, because this one's not being used in a visible way, that in a way that would affect the other records, the related records. So here this is going to be student ID, book ID. This is the first one. Okay, let me remove, delete. There we go. Now this is what do we have? We have booking queue. Before I continue here, this one we need to add more information. So we have student ID, book ID, we have borrow date, okay, and we have return date, and we have notes. There we go. So yeah, maybe I should mark this first table with this color so that we distinguish it. And next I need to mark this table with a different color, okay. And here student ID, book ID. Now both of these, this is going to be primary key, okay. This is going to be also primary key. So we have two columns that represent the primary key. Borrow date, notes, okay. Let me see, this is going to be what? This is going to be a date, time, and this one's also going to be date, D-A-T-E, date, and this is going to be text. Now let's go back to this one. We have a queue, okay. Okay, so booking a queue. So if someone wants to borrow this book and the book is not there, so here we have another table. Let me write it here. This is going to be what? Book, let me call it book waiting queue, because the name's going to be a little bit confusing. Booking queue, that will be a little bit, you know, hard to spell, I guess. Anyway, so what we have here, we have student ID, okay, and B we have book ID, and C, let's say the order, booking order. There we go. So we have these, and I'm gonna change the color here, choose this one, okay. So the fields here, this is going to be primary key, this is also going to be primary key, there we go. And now the order is important because it tells you know, the number of the student that's trying to borrow the book, okay. Location, now the location here, let me copy these, continue these. So we have keywords, the available copies of the book. This is going to be an integer or a number. Let me call it number here, number, there we go. And total copies, and this is going to be number as well, okay. So what do we have also? We have location in the library, and the location in the library should be what? This is going to be location ID, okay. So here this is going to be, yeah, this is actually the location ID. So this is going to be number, this is a foreign key, and barcode, this is going to be text, okay. So hopefully these three tables will handle what do you call it, the book information. Now let's go back and see what also do we need to store. We have to store the person, student, borrower, booker's detail. Okay, so we need these. Copy, and let's go to DB Design again. Click here, Control V. Okay, so what do we have? We have the name, okay, EF, person ID or person ID. Okay, so the person ID is the primary key in this case. Okay, and usually it's a number. The name, this is going to be text. The identification, this is going to be text. The year, for example, which year the student is, this is going to be number. The contact information, this is going to be text. The email is text. Okay, and here this means the person information, student information, borrower, booker's detail. Okay, no problem. So here the student ID is, wait a minute, let me just use the same names, I'm sorry, student ID. Okay, so here this table defines a student. Okay, maybe, okay, so come on here and let's choose a different color. There we go. Okay, so here we have the student ID, as you can see, and you get the student ID information from here. Okay, as for the name for this table, I'm gonna call it what? Student information. There we go. Okay, so let's see what also do we have. We have the location within the library itself. Copy that, and let's go here. Okay, so here what we want to do is specify, for example, the shelf number, the floor number, and or maybe it has a name, and section number. So the shelf number, this is going to be primary key. There we go. The floor, this is going to be what? There's going to be text, and the section, this is going to be text. Okay, so in this case we assume that each shelf has a number, probably the yeah, so each shelf will be at a specific floor, at a specific section. Okay, maybe we could add more details, like well, I think the section alone is enough, because you could say, for example, this section is for scientific stuff and stuff like that. Okay, if you want to add details, it's up to you. So let's mark these and choose another color here. Okay, this color. Now let's see what other tables do we need to create. We need the staff information. Wait a minute. Okay, so this one is the staff information. Let me put it here, Control V. Okay, so we have what? We have employee login name. This is primary key, PK. Okay, and this is going to be text. This is going to be text. Okay, so this will be used in or just for what? Just to identify the person who want to log to the system. We might need to add a few other functionalities like the roles and stuff like that. I won't do it here. This is like a minimal implementation. Yeah, so let's go back and see what also do we have. We have this guy, so let's go here. Okay, so this one is very similar, but to the other, to the student information, but this one's for the web. So Control V. So here, web user, let me see, web user account, let's call it. Okay, So we have student identification, so a student could register. So here student identification, this is going to be what? This is going to be text. Let's assume that the student must log using his identification, or let's this is going to be a PK. What do we have? We have the password. This is going to be text. The booking list. Now the booking list, again, the booking list is already available, right? Because we have the waiting queue or booking queue. Let's call it here. Sorry, booking list. So this one is already there, so no need to start again. The borrow list, again, this is the borrow list. Okay, and well, there's something important here. It's about the status. I didn't add status, and this one will tell me if the book was returned or not. This is going to be text. Okay, CVV. Okay, so now all the same. Okay, so the password, fine information, fines. So probably we are gonna need some kind of fine information. So let me see. User count, C. Wait a second. Okay, so I guess these are for web access right now. We are gonna need more fields. So these two fields, let's go back here. Okay, so we need to store the fine information, and in this design we didn't okay, so continuing now we are gonna start writing the development steps. So I created this one. I recorded a little bit, then I thought it was a little bit confusing, so now I'm gonna repeat that, and hopefully this time I'm gonna get it right. So what you see here, oops, yeah, I wrote a few steps and then I thought it was confusing for everyone, so I removed that. Anyway, so before I start talking here, what am I gonna do in writing the progress is for each important type of information, I'm gonna try to first create the database objects. Second, I will try to create the classes. Okay, okay, create objects plus define classes that maps database records to memory. Also try to create user interface and test the code, because testing is important. So where do we start here? We have many tables. Well, basically in order to do some tests, we're gonna need to have some staff information here. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the staff table. Okay, so the first thing, this is gonna be here, I'm gonna put the name alone here. So this is staff info. So one, define staff table. Okay, maybe I need to do some preparation. Let me say first preparation. Okay, so here gonna be define db objects. Okay, and for this, I mean, usually I arrange my work in a way that I put some of the classes and connections together in a single object for easy management. You're gonna see that later on and see how useful it is. Okay, so this is about preparation. So now let's go with define the let's say staff info. So what I want to do here is one, This is going to be define staff table. Next, define staff class. Okay, 3. Add staff to DB. 4. Load staff from DB. I mean a staff record here. And edit staff record. Okay. And 6, and let's say remove staff record. Okay, 7. So now I finished the basic operations. I will need to create something like display what? Display staff in GUI. Okay, basically here I mean data grid view. Okay, and 8, after doing that, after displaying the staff and data grid view, I will try to what I'm gonna say other operations we need is gosh, wait a second, log in, okay, and 9, let's say staff login. There we go. And then these are, you know, just the things related to the graphical user interface. What we need to do also is add the test, is add the part where we test the objects, or let's say test staff object. There we go. 10. So all this is finished. We start with the graphical user interface, GUI. Let's say admin logs into the system. Okay, and 11, GUI admin view all staff members. 12, next is GUI admin adds new staff member. 13, GUI admin edits staff member. 14, GUI admin removes staff member. And 15, GUI admin. So what do we have? Admin removes a staff member, GUI admin what? We have edit, a view, add, remove. Yeah, I guess that's it. View, system, view, add, edit, and remove. Yeah, these are basic operations that are done by the administrator. So you can see all of this is just what? This is just doing the basic login for the administrator. Okay, some of these operations are quite easy, some is a little bit more complex than others. Yeah, so I guess this usually takes, assuming that each number represents a complete day, so this will take 15 days. Well, actually not. It will take few hours. Okay, you might be wondering why there are so much details. Well, usually if you want to build a good application, you want to you know, make it easier to maintain and easier to understand. Here we are doing lots of extra work because later on it will be much easier, hopefully, for us to maintain the application. Okay, and also we can detect errors much easier. Okay, so this is the work for the first table. So going to the second one, we will go to the shelves table. And before that we need to, well, yeah, let's go to shelves table. Okay, so here, by the way, I changed the name of this from location table to shelves table. So anyway, so here again we will use the same formula. First we need to work with the database, so define shelves table. I hope the spelling is not wrong. 2, we want to define the shelves object. Okay. 3, we want to add the new shelf. Okay. 4, edit existing shelf. 5, gosh, edit, edit existing shelf. remove shelf. Okay, and okay, what do we have to do next? We want to add, edit, remove. We want to modify, add, edit, remove. Yeah. So next we want to display shelves in data grid view. Okay. 7, we want to so add, edit, remove, display all shelves. We want to test the shelves object. Okay, and 8, we want to do the following: GUI staff member logs and selects data entry. Okay, this doesn't require much. Then GUI staff member staff view the list of shelves. Okay, 10, GUI staff add a new shelf. 11, GUI staff modify shelf. Okay, next what do we have to do? 12, GUI staff, let's see, so add, modify, or remove shelf. Okay, so view, add, modify, and remove. Okay, so you might see that these are very similar to these, but the difference is these are related to the objects in the in memory and in database, and this is the graphical user interface. So here, in a way, I am trying to separate these two because it makes our work easier. Okay, this is the thing about it. Okay, so what do we need to do next? Okay, let's see, let's have a look. So we finished what? We finished the shelves, we finished the staff information. Next we need to work with the book information. So again, this is gonna be books table. So here, define books table. Okay, sorry, it's only shelves, sorry. Okay, so define books table. This is gonna be what? 1, 2, define books object. And by the way, this is not a complete definition of the books object, because later on it has other items within it, so we will have to update it. Anyway, 3, so define, okay, add a new book. 4, modify existing book. Okay, and 5, I won't make it possible to remove a book. I guess it's okay, I will add the functionality remove book, but I will not activate it in the graphical user interface. 6, I'm gonna say what display books in the display books in the what? Display books in the data grid view. We need to add a few other functionalities like search for books. Okay, we need to make it easier to search and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, so given these, now we are gonna say test books object. Okay, 9. Next we need to do what? GUI, and then we have what? We have staff view all books. 10, GUI staff adds new book. 11, GUI staff modifies a book. And option 12, GUI staff modifies, not modify, removes a book. Let's say 13, GUI staff searches, maybe searches for a book. Okay, we are gonna need to add few other operations in this case for the shelves. So for here we need to add a functionality: insert display all shelves in combo box. Again, this is very trivial, but usually we put that inside the function to try to separate the database code from, you know, the other of the stuff. 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so now we define the books. Again, this is not a complete definition, we will have to do more. Let's have a look on the next thing here. We have we need to work next on the student information. Okay, so again, students. So first thing to do is define student table. 2, define student object. 3, again, create new student. 4, modify existing student. 5, remove student. 6, display student and DGV data grid view. 7, display student in combo box. Enter. 8, what do we have to do next? We have to remove, oh oops, sorry, we have to test student, wait a second, search for student. Okay, 9, display all, sorry, test student object. There we go. And 10, staff GUI staff views all students. And this is not a complete interface, this is a partial interface. Okay, we need to work on that more. So again, and then we have GUI staff modifies students, and 12 staff adds new student, and GUI staff modifies student. Okay, 13 GUI staff removes a student. There we go. 14 yeah, so add, modify, remove. Okay, so I guess it has been a while and my time is almost finished. So you can see here we define the basic tables with some of the interface, and so far this is about 54 units of time, and this unit might be day or hour depending on my time. Okay, and how fast you are working, of course. So let me see. So what do we have? We spoke about books and students, and so now we can work on the details, like for example borrowing a book. Okay, so let's talk about borrowing a book. Let me see. So borrowing a book, book waiting, and fines, right? I guess I will do these later on. So just for now, I will try to I'm gonna stop working on this one, okay, because after we finish with this we only have the borrowing and the other actual code. I guess I will finish this in another tutorial. I didn't expect it will take this long. Okay, so yeah, so sorry I wasn't able to finish in time. Maybe next tutorial if we have enough time, I will try to start working on the code if we manage to finish the rest of the tables, which are this one, right, and 2, 3, 4. So we have still 4 tables. Gosh, that's a lot. Okay, so we still have 4 tables. So thank you for watching. If you have notes about this, let me know about them. Yeah, so wishing you a wonderful day. Have a nice time. Bye bye.